Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
The flagship rider of the factory Ducati Lenovo team, Marc Marquez, again caught the attention of MotoGP lovers after taking to the track at the Bugatti circuit, Le Mans, today, Wednesday, August 5th, to try out a number of new components embedded in his Desmosedici GP25 bike. This test is an important part of Ducati's technical development series, which is racing to maintain their performance at the top of the 2025 MotoGP standings. This private practice session was conducted in a relatively closed atmosphere, but some technical details began to be revealed through reports from the crew in the paddock and internal comments from the team. Marquez, who is in his first season with Ducati after parting ways with Repsol Honda, was seen very actively discussing with team technicians after a series of laps on the latest version of the Desmosedici. According to information circulating, some of the new components tested today include a new aerodynamics package, including a fairing with a slightly slimmer design and additional small fins on the top side to increase downforce at high speeds. Not only that, but the front suspension and braking system have also been revised to provide better stability in the technical sector of Le Mans, a circuit that demands sudden braking and sharp acceleration. Ducati is also known to be testing new mapping on the electronics, particularly in the traction control and engine braking management sectors, two vital elements to accommodate Marquez's trademark aggressive riding style when entering and exiting corners. It's a very competitive bike, and today I could feel some significant improvements, Marquez said in the team's official statement. We tried some new solutions, and I think there is a positive direction. It's too early to conclude, but Ducati is working very fast and smart. That keeps me motivated. This test session was also a measure of how quickly Marquez began to integrate with the Ducati DNA. Although he is not a rookie, adapting to a bike with a very different design philosophy from Honda's RC213V remains a challenge. However, Marquez has shown faster progress than many observers had initially expected. He has even finished in the top 5 several times and poses a serious threat to his teammate, Francesco Bagnaia, the defending champion. Ducati Lenovo team manager Davide Tarduzzi stated that this development process is part of the team's medium-term strategy. We know that with Marc, we have a rider with great experience and development instincts. His feedback is very useful for us, especially in delivering a more complete bike on all types of circuits, said Tarduzzi. On the other hand, this test is also Ducati's anticipatory step against pressure from rival teams such as KTM and Aprilia, who have also shown a surge in performance at the start of this season. With the gap between manufacturers closing, technical development can no longer be done reactively, it must be aggressive and proactive. Meanwhile, Le Mans itself is known as a circuit that delivers unpredictable results. With unpredictable weather and a complex layout, any slight technical advantage can lead to a big difference in the final result. Therefore, Marquez's success in testing and giving feedback on the new components could be Ducati's trump card ahead of Sunday's race day. Fans are now waiting to see if these technical changes will pay off in the French Grand Prix. If they do, it's not impossible that Marc Marquez will be back on the podium, or even take his first win with Ducati. On the other hand, Marquez, who only joined the factory Ducati team this season, was seen doing a series of intensive laps on a bike that had been modified in several key areas. The new components tested included the latest aerodynamics package, updated electronics, and a new front suspension that is said to be more stable in fast corners, a very important characteristic at the Le Mans circuit, which is known for its combination of fast corners and hard braking. According to an internal team source, Marquez gave direct feedback to the Ducati engineers after the first few laps. He was reportedly quite satisfied with the bike's improved stability and response, although there were still some areas that he felt needed to be refined, particularly in terms of traction when exiting slow corners. I feel there is significant progress on the front of the bike. The bike feels more communicative, especially when I press in the second and third sectors of the circuit, Marquez said briefly in the paddock. We are still evaluating the data, but the direction of development is very positive. This move shows how serious Ducati Lenovo is in maintaining their competitive performance amidst the intense competition this season. With Marquez known as an aggressive and experienced rider, the adaptation to these new components is expected to give him an added advantage on the track. Today's test was also an important opportunity for Marquez to become more attuned to the characteristics of the Ducati GP25, a bike that is technically different from the RC213V he rode for years with Honda. The speed of Marquez's adaptation to the Ducati has been one of the hot topics throughout the early part of the season, and tests like this are crucial to support his march towards further podium finishes. The French MotoGP main event takes place on Sunday, and fans will be eager to see if the new components can have an immediate impact on Marquez's performance this weekend. The smell of competition is getting sharper ahead of the 5th MotoGP series, which will take place at the Bugatti circuit, Le Mans, France. The 2025 season brings a new dynamic to the table, and one of the most anticipated main stories is the adaptation journey of MotoGP living legend Marc Marquez with his new team Lenovo Ducati. After more than a decade with Honda, during which he won 6 MotoGP world titles and 2 additional titles in the junior class, Marquez made a big decision to move to Ducati, the team that has dominated the World Championship in recent seasons. The move has been called one of the biggest transfers in modern MotoGP history. However, the transition to a new team and a new bike was not without its challenges. Although the Ducati is known as the most competitive bike on the grid today, the Ducati's character is much different from Honda's RC213V, which over the years has meshed well with Marquez's aggressive racing style. Even for a rider of Marquez's caliber, adaptation is not instantaneous. The bike is very fast, very stable, and has incredible potential. But to be fast on it consistently, I have to change my approach. I'm still in the stage of learning the limits, where I can maximize the potential without crossing those limits, Marquez said in a media interview ahead of the Le Mans GP weekend. In the early races of the 2025 season, the public could see the real struggle of the 8-time world champion. He had indeed shown amazing speed, especially in free practice and qualifying sessions, even coming close to securing the podium several times. However, race results have not always been consistent. A few minor incidents and crashes in technical corners showed that Marquez was still not fully at peace with his new bike. According to MotoGP analysts, Marquez's famously aggressive racing style, full of pressure at the front and habit of braking very deeply, needs a little adjustment to really fit the character of the Ducati, which is more stable and powerful at the rear. The Ducati is a bike that excels on straights and acceleration, but requires precision in braking and grip management in corners. Marquez himself did not deny that the adaptation process was mentally and physically draining. I don't want to rush things. Every race week I learn something new. Once I recognize the limits of this bike, the grip limits, the braking limits, to the character of the electronics, I am sure I will be more stable. If that happens, I will take fewer risks, fall less, and start to perform consistently, he added. From the team side, Lenovo Ducati gave full support to Marquez. There is no excessive pressure to win immediately. They understand that adaptation is a process, even for a rider with as impressive a record as Marquez. Ducati team principal, Davide Tardizzi, said that Marquez brought an extraordinary fighting spirit to the team. We don't doubt Marc's ability. He is a true champion. All we need is time. We see positive progress in every series. When he is fully integrated with this bike, he will be a great force. In addition, Marquez's relationship with his teammate, Francesco Pecco Bagnaia, has also been the subject of discussion. Two top riders in one team certainly bring their own dynamics. But so far, both have maintained high professionalism and mutual respect. Even on several occasions, Marquez mentioned Pecco as an important reference in his learning process. The Le Mans GP could be a turning point. The circuit has a combination of fast tracks and technical corners that demand precision braking and traction management, two aspects that Marquez is trying to master with Ducati. In the past, Le Mans has not been an unfamiliar track for Marquez. He has taken victories and several podium finishes here. But this time, the challenge is different. With the political temperature of MotoGP hot, rivals like Jorge Martin, Maverick Vinales, and even rookie Pedro Acosta are starting to show their teeth. Marquez will need to find his footing soon, and Le Mans could be the perfect place to start. One thing is for sure, the racing world knows one thing about Marc Marquez. Never underestimate him. Despite all the challenges of adaptation, he's still a rider with true racer instincts, uncompromising courage, and a determination that few others have. If Marc Marquez has truly found his feeling with Ducati, the world may once again witness the dominance of a legend, this time in Ducati red. On the other hand, his own teammate, Francesco Bagnaia, who is also the reigning world champion, admits to enjoying the new dynamic in the team garage. The healthy rivalry between these two top riders pushes them to perform sharper every week. Marc brings new energy. We push each other to go faster. But I know, if he has found a comfortable point with this bike, the competition will be even crazier, Bagnaia said with a laugh. The Le Mans MotoGP itself could be a turning point for Marquez. This circuit has a long history with him, including glorious victories in the past. With a mixed layout of slow corners and aggressive acceleration zones, Le Mans is the perfect testing ground for anyone looking for the ideal chemistry with their bike. More than just a battle on the track, Marc Marquez's story with Ducati is one of evolution. From a fearless young rider to a veteran who combines experience, intelligence, and sharp instincts. If he manages to tame the Desmocetisai, the bike that has taken Bagnaia to 2 consecutive world titles, it's possible that Marquez will return to his former glory, this time with Ducati red on his chest. One thing is for sure, if Marc Marquez fully understands the limits of the Ducati, we won't just see him crash less often, we might witness a new, more mature, more efficient and more legendary dominance from the baby alien.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking clout. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.